Hey guys, Cat72, hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to get an early start this morning on the part 2 of the Mongoose Dolomite. I've already taken all the components off. Today we're just going to focus on sanding the frame and sanding the forks and getting it ready to be painted. You might ask, why do I have the chain and the derailleur still connected? I'm trying to save me some time, plus I couldn't find my chain tool. So what I'm gonna do is basically, if I paint it, when I get ready to paint it, I'm just gonna mount this in a way that it's not touching the frame, so I could still go around it, but paint the frame itself without putting any spray paint on top of the chain. I know it's kind of a sloppy way, if you want to put it that way, of doing it, but I couldn't find a tool, and I'm pressed for time, and I really don't want to waste time having to drive to the store to go buy a tool, come back and do all that. I really want to get this done, basically so I can ride it. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let me show you some of the simple tools I'm going to use real quick. Shouldn't be a very long video. I've done this many times before on other videos. We're just going to paint it, sand it down, clean it up, paint it, let it dry, and then part 3 will be where I show you guys all the components I bought for it that hopefully will make it a little bit lighter than what it is by factory. I think at factory it's about 48 pounds. I'm going to see if we can eliminate some of that heavy weight. Of course, it's not going to be dramatic. This is still considered a big bike, or a fat bike if you will. There's going to be some weight to it, but I did notice though, if the derailleurs wouldn't have been on this frame, the frame itself is not actually heavy at all, in my opinion. But you know, that's just me. I don't see it being that heavy. But anyway, let me show you what basic tools we're going to use, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, let's get this started. Okay, guys, so here we go. Some of the basic tools. I decided to go with 220. This is a previous one I've had that I used on another video for another paint job, but there's still got some good grit to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Shouldn't need more than 2, but again, I'm going with 220 because I'm gonna put about 2 to 3 coats. Oh yeah, I need to show you what product I'm gonna use too real quick, but let's just get to the material. So 220 sand grit. I just got a good fiber cloth because I'm gonna wipe it down with some acetone once I get it all sanded down. I got an assortment of other sandpapers if I need it, but I'm gonna go with the 220. Gloves, because once it's all sanded and cleaned, at that point you want to wear gloves because you don't want to get any oily residue on the frame, because then what will happen is you're going to end up with fisheye and imperfections in the paint job. And then some basic masking tape, just to, you know, go around some of the rings and, you know, cover up some of the threads in here so you don't end up getting those threads filled with paint, because then that's going to be a pain. And then just around the neck itself. Like I said, I like the color. It's a nice little metallic royal blue, but I really do want to clean it up and paint it a different color. I don't like the fact that these are so common with this color. I kind of want something that's unique and different, so that's what we're going to focus on. So yeah, that's the products. Like I said, real simple stuff, guys. Sandpaper, cleaning solution, gloves, masking tape, fiber cloth for the cleaning process, and then in my case I'm going to use 220 sandpaper, because again, the finish is perfect. There's no rust. All we want to do is scuff it up just so that the new spray paint, or the new paint, can go ahead and have something strong to adhere to, so it doesn't chip off or flake off over time. All right, guys, now let me show you what we're going to end up using for the color and the finish, because that's another thing, guys. I changed my mind. I did say I was going to do Nardo gray. I decided to come up with a different color scheme that I think will look a lot better than the Nardo gray, even though I do like that color. So yeah, let me show you what that's going to be real quick. Okay, guys, and then here is the product that we're going to be using. It is the ever so famous for these kind of DIY products, Rust-Oleum. I'm going with the 2X. I'm going with the Ultimate High Gloss 2X because it basically puts one coat's literally 2 coats. So if I'm going to go with 2 to 3 coats, we're looking at 4 to 6 coats on this bike, But we'll see how that comes out. I might just do one coat. We're gonna just play it by ear. The reason why I'm going with this product is because I did my other two bikes with this and I've had no issues whatsoever. I've had my bikes through rain, mud. I've taken a couple of falls on those bikes and the paint's held up with no issues. And then of course, being here in Texas, you're looking easily over 100 degrees. In the summertime, the paint's held up beautifully. No complaints with that product. Very good product. I hope the color is going to be pretty decent. I came up with white sand. I think that's just going to be a better contrast against the black. And I guess I'm going to let out a little secret here because I haven't done part 3 yet for the parts. But black and red parts are going to stand out better, I think, with the color coordination as opposed to the Nardo. Nardo gray would have been fine. But you got to keep in mind the fat bike does have those huge red rims, and I just don't think that color match would have been perfect to my liking. This, however, I think it's going to be awesome. I hope it's going to come out great, but if not, we can always, repaint it. Not a big deal. Okay, guys, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started. Like usual, I will do time lapse, so I'm not taking too much of y'all's time. All right, guys, hope you enjoy. Okay guys, at this point I've already got it all masked off, got it all sanded. Again, we're just doing a light sanding. There was nothing wrong with the bike. It had no rust buildup whatsoever, so we just wanted to scuff it up just so that the new paint would adhere to it. I know that looks a little funny the way I have this set up, but remember, I didn't have my chain tool, so I had to rig this somehow to where it's not touching the frame, and I was still able to paint the frame without interfering with the chain and the derailleur. So this worked out pretty good. And then of course the box is just to stabilize it because it is hanging on some 20-pound fish wire, strapped three times over, so it's more than enough to hold the bike frame. But because when I start spraying, the force of the spray is going to start causing it to twist and turn, and that's where it's going to end up hitting the chain. This way it's stabilized and shouldn't have that issue. And we got the fork over here. That's all prepped and ready to go. So okay, let's go ahead and get this painted, guys, and hope for the best. Honestly, I think it's going to come out pretty good. I sure hope so anyway. We'll find out here real soon. Sorry guys, I wanted to explain something to you real quick. When you are using this product right here, the 2X Rust-Oleum, you got to keep in mind it comes out really thick, so you want to just mist it. I was about to get carried away here, and I said, well, let me explain this to them in case you haven't used the product. You kind of just want to mist it because a lot's going to want to come out when you spray that it looks like it's going to cover perfect with just one go. But trust me, if you take your time and you just do little thin layers at a time, you get better results. So I just wanted to mention that to you guys. As you can see, the forks still need another coat. That's just a real light coat, and that's just a first coat, you know. So you can imagine if you really tried to lay it on there, you're going to end up with runs, and it's much better if you just let it work in layers. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Overall, I'm probably going to give this about one full coat, which is 2 coats, and maybe an additional. So all in all, it might be 4 coats of paint. only because it comes out that way. The way they set up the tip and the nozzle on this spray can, that's how much product you're going to be getting out of it. About two layers of paint for every, you know, spray. So just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, let's keep going. Okay guys, thanks for sticking around this long. Here's the finished result. It's been drying now for about 2.5 hours. I mean, you can pretty much handle it at this point. I mean, do what you need to do, but I'm gonna give it the rest of the day to do so. Since tomorrow, the part 3 will be me putting the parts back. Try to zoom in on here to show you the finish. That's not bad, you know, for spray can. And then if you really wanted to, you can go with like 400 grit wet sand and buff it out, and that would even give you a more glass type finish. But I'm pretty pleased with the results of this product. That's why I decided to use it again. Like I said, I've used it on my other 2 bikes and I have no complaints whatsoever. Here's the forks. And you know, I mentioned it earlier, the reason why I did this, guys, is because whenever you type up the Mongoose fat bike, for some reason you always see that navy metallic blue, and I just kind of wanted to have something different, you know. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. All right, so next part will be part 3. It'll be me putting all the parts, the upgraded parts that I said I would do for trying to make the bike a little bit lighter. It's not going to be significantly lighter because keep in mind, this is a fat bike, a heavy bike, if you will. There's only so much you can do. I mean, obviously you can probably dish out a lot more money and do a whole bunch of carbon fiber, but at that point it's getting ridiculous. You might as well have just bought you a carbon fiber bike to begin with. So anyway, all right guys, hope you enjoyed. I do appreciate you watching, and yeah, let's see what comes out of part 3. All right guys, appreciate it.